Imagine moving into a new home with your family, excited to start a new chapter of your lives. But what if the new home you moved into was haunted? What if there was something in your room that made you uneasy, something that you couldn't explain? This was exactly what happened to Monty and his family when they moved into their new home. Although they had no first-hand experience with the paranormal, strange things began happening, and they couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone in their house. Footsteps, mysterious noises, and strange sightings were just the beginning. Monty's family turned to a paranormal investigator for help, and what they found was beyond their wildest imaginations. Join us as we take a journey through Monty's experience with the unknown, and discover what it takes to rid a home of negative energy. Welcome to Eerie Encounters and Hauntings. We are thrilled to have you join us for 2 new spine-tingling tales of the paranormal each week, stories that will make you shiver with fear and keep you on the edge of your seat. From haunted houses to possessed objects, we have the most bone-chilling tales of the supernatural. Get ready for a terrifying journey into the unknown with our bone-chilling episodes featuring blood-curdling stories that will send shivers down your spine. So hit that like button, share the horror with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Here's a tale that's sure to capture your attention. This is entitled The Haunting of a Home, a true story of paranormal encounters with a friendly ghost. It was shared to us by Ken, who's from Toronto. Let's get started. Monty and his family had just moved into their new home. It was a beautiful, 2-story house nestled at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac. The pristine white paint and a charming picket fence gave it an inviting appearance. Monty was in the 5th grade at the time, and he couldn't have been more excited about their fresh start in this picturesque neighborhood. As they entered the house for the first time, there was an immediate feeling of warmth and belonging. The spacious living room, complete with a crackling fireplace, felt like the heart of their new home. The kitchen, bathed in sunlight, was a place for laughter and shared meals. And Monty's room, although small, had a cozy nook by the window where he could read his favorite books. However, amidst all the beauty and promise of their new dwelling, there was an unsettling feeling. Monty couldn't quite put his finger on it, but something about his room made him uneasy. At first, he dismissed it as the typical apprehension of moving to a new place. Yet, as the days turned into weeks, his discomfort grew. Monty had never had first-hand experience with the paranormal. He was just a young boy, eager to explore the world and make new friends. But his unease deepened to the point where he slept with the lights on. It wasn't the fear of monsters under the bed or shadows dancing on the walls. It was an inexplicable feeling that something was watching him, lurking in the corners of his room. Years passed, and Monty's mom and sister finally confided in him about their own unsettling experiences in the house. It was a quiet evening, and they sat around the dining table, sharing stories from their past. His sister spoke of sleepless nights and strange whispers that seemed to emanate from nowhere. Monty's mom's face turned pale as she recounted a chilling encounter. She described a night when she woke up to use the bathroom. As she passed through the dimly lit hallway, she saw a shadowy figure at the end of her bed. The figure appeared to be a man, casually strolling past the foot of her bed and, inexplicably, through the solid wall. Terrified, she called out her new husband's name with all the strength she could muster. He came running from another room, but when they reached her bedroom, it was empty. The family rarely discussed these spine-tingling experiences, fearful that acknowledging them might make them more real. They chose to live in a fragile equilibrium, ignoring the uncanny occurrences while always feeling their presence lurking in the background. Monty's house soon became a gathering place for extended family and friends. Many of them would visit, taking advantage of the warm atmosphere and the convenience of the laundry facilities. It was during these visits that strange occurrences began to pile up. Adult children visiting for a weekend would wake up in the middle of the night, startled by the sound of footsteps echoing in the hallway. Others reported hearing mysterious whispers, just beyond the edge of comprehension. These incidents were puzzling, leaving guests shaken and Monty's family struggling to offer plausible explanations. Around 2 years ago, the house bore witness to an incident that left everyone bewildered. Monty's young son, full of the boundless energy of youth, was playing in the backyard during a family gathering. His mischievous cousin decided to let him in on a secret adventure. Together, they sneaked out the back door and, giggling with excitement, jumped into the cool, inviting waters of the swimming pool. What started as youthful exuberance quickly turned into a nightmare. In the midst of their play, the young boy lost his footing and slipped beneath the surface of the pool. Panic erupted among the family members inside the house, who were unaware of the children's unauthorized escapade. Monty happened to be in the living room, engrossed in conversation with his sister, when he heard the sudden, desperate splash from the backyard. His heart froze, and without a moment's hesitation, he bolted towards the sliding glass door that led to the pool area. As he flung open the door, he was met with a sight that would haunt him for years to come. His son's small figure was submerged, struggling beneath the water's surface. Panic coursed through Monty's veins as he dove into the pool, frantically reaching for his son. But what he found defied all logic. Despite the boy's perilous situation, it was as though an unseen force held him up, his head remaining eerily above water. It was as if an invisible hand had reached down from the heavens and spared the child from a watery grave. Monty pulled his son to safety, his mind reeling with disbelief. This harrowing incident marked a turning point in their experiences. It seemed that whatever presence dwelled within their home had intervened to save a life, rather than inflict harm. Monty couldn't help but wonder if the house's enigmatic spirit had played a role in this miraculous rescue. A few years later, Monty's sister and her family moved back in with their mother and cousin. The supernatural activity in the house seemed to intensify with their return. One evening, Monty's cousin decided to treat herself to a late-night snack and ventured to the kitchen. Her cravings led her to the freezer, where a tub of ice cream beckoned. However, as she attempted to retrieve the ice cream, a strange phenomenon unfolded. The container refused to budge, as though it were firmly glued in place. Frustration turned to bewilderment as she enlisted the help of her grandmother. Together, they tugged and pulled at the container until, suddenly, it began to levitate. To their astonishment, the tub of ice cream slowly floated above the floor, seemingly guided by an invisible hand. Monty's mom entered the room just in time to witness this inexplicable event. The frozen treat hovered midair before gently descending to the ground, leaving them in a state of shock. The eerie incidents continued to multiply. Objects within the house would mysteriously shift from their usual places, causing a sense of disorientation. Unexplained noises would pierce the silence of the night, each one more unsettling than the last. The lights in the house took on a life of their own, flickering erratically as though an unseen presence passed beneath them. Even their loyal family dog, a usually calm and composed companion, had her own eerie encounters with the unknown. On several occasions, she exhibited bizarre behavior, barking wildly and racing through the house as if desperately trying to confront an invisible intruder that only she could perceive. While the family struggled to find explanations for these inexplicable phenomena, they couldn't ignore the overwhelming feeling that their home was no longer theirs alone. The atmosphere inside the house became increasingly oppressive, with an air of disquiet hanging over every room. One evening, as Monty and his family gathered on the front porch to enjoy the cool evening breeze, they were suddenly jolted by an unexpected sight. A moving light, faint at first but steadily growing brighter, appeared in the distance. It was accompanied by an eerie chorus of multiple voices, their tones distorted and discordant. The family exchanged nervous glances, their hearts pounding in unison. They strained their eyes, peering into the darkness beyond their property, searching for any semblance of an explanation. Perhaps it was a neighbor or someone they knew. They clung to this hope, trying to dispel the sense of unease that gripped them. However, their hopes were quickly dashed. None of their neighbors lived close enough for such an abrupt and unannounced appearance. The light grew nearer, and its source became apparent. It was a single, strange-looking figure, someone none of them had ever seen before. The figure moved with an eerie, deliberate slowness, as if each step required a great effort. Fear gripped them, and the feeling that they were not alone in their home became an undeniable reality. The activity within the house had escalated to a point where it could no longer be dismissed as mere coincidence or imagination. Monty and his family knew that they had to confront whatever malevolent or enigmatic force had taken residence in their home. With trembling hearts, they retreated inside the house, locking the doors and drawing the curtains shut. The night seemed to stretch on forever as they huddled together, seeking solace in each other's presence. Sleep eluded them, for they knew that they had entered a new chapter of uncertainty and dread. The family decided to take action, to seek answers and find a way to banish the malevolent force that now held their home in its grip. They reached out to a seasoned paranormal investigator, a man with years of experience in dealing with the unexplained. The investigator agreed to come and assess the situation. He arrived at the house, carrying with him an aura of professionalism and a sense of authority that was reassuring to the shaken family. As he crossed the threshold, he immediately felt the weight of the presence that lingered within. Without hesitation, the investigator began his meticulous examination of the house. His tools of the trade included electromagnetic field detectors, infrared cameras, and voice recording devices. He methodically moved from room to room, pausing at times as if listening to voices only he could hear. As he explored the house, he shared his findings with Monty and his family. The investigator believed that the house was built upon an ancient Native American burial ground, a resting place for the spirits of those who had passed on long ago. These spirits, he theorized, had not found peace and remained bound to the land. The investigator explained that such places often carried an intense energy, a lingering connection to the past that could manifest in various ways. The spirits might be trapped in a state of unrest, their presence causing disturbances in the physical world. He recommended a cleansing ritual, a carefully orchestrated process designed to remove any negative energy from the house and allow the trapped spirits to find their way to the afterlife. The family, desperate for a solution, eagerly agreed to follow his guidance. The cleansing ritual began, and the family gathered together, their hearts heavy with anticipation. They watched as the investigator moved through the house, reciting incantations and performing rituals that had been passed down through generations of paranormal experts. As the ritual progressed, the atmosphere within the house seemed to shift. The oppressive feeling that had hung over them for so long began to dissipate, like a storm cloud breaking apart to reveal the clear sky beyond. The strange noises and inexplicable occurrences ceased, one by one, until a profound silence settled over the house. Monty and his family couldn't believe the transformation they were witnessing. It was as if a heavy weight had been lifted from their shoulders, and the specter of fear that had haunted them for years had finally released its grip. Days turned into weeks, and the newfound sense of peace endured. The family could finally relax and enjoy their home without constantly looking over their shoulders. They began to make changes to the house, painting its walls in cheerful colors and redecorating to make it their own. While the experiences they had endured were undeniably terrifying, they had also forged a deeper bond within the family. Together, they had faced the unknown and emerged on the other side, stronger and more resilient. The harrowing encounters had been a trial by fire, a test of their courage and determination. And so, Monty and his family left behind the dark chapter of their haunted home. The mysterious and unexplainable occurrences were now memories, fading like a distant nightmare upon waking. They moved forward, embracing the serenity of their home and cherishing the unity that had carried them through the darkest of nights. In conclusion, the story of Monty and his family's eerie encounters in their new home is a testament to the inexplicable mysteries that sometimes lurk in the corners of our lives. It serves as a reminder that the unknown can be both terrifying and transformative, a journey that tests our courage and resilience. Though they may never fully understand the enigmatic forces that once tormented them, they are grateful for the opportunity to finally find peace and start anew in their once haunted house. If this video left you spellbound, Dive deeper into the world of chilling tales by joining our channel, Eerie Encounters and Hauntings. Access a treasure trove of bone-chilling stories waiting for you with new episodes 2 times a week. Spread the fear among your friends and family who crave a good scare and give them goosebumps. We'd love to hear your spine-tingling experiences as well, so don't hesitate to share them in the comments. You can also send us your story so we can feature it in one of our future episodes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Stay scared. Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. The stories depicted in this video are shared by people who believe they are true, but they have not been verified. Any resemblance to real people or events is purely coincidental. The views and opinions expressed in this video are those of the people who shared the stories and do not necessarily reflect the views of YouTube, Google, or Facebook. The channel does not endorse the views expressed in this video. This video is not intended to be used as evidence of any supernatural or paranormal activity. If you are experiencing paranormal activity, please contact a qualified professional.